So we'll start off seated. And I'm gonna have the knees kind of bent out in front of me and feet about hip width apart, which is about 2 fist distance. I'm gonna place my hands kind of on the sides of the shins here. And I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna inhale down in my belly to bring my spine tall. And I'm gonna exhale, drop the ribs and fold forward. Inhale, re-lengthen the spine. I'm gonna act as if I have a hook on the top of my head pulling me up. Then I'm gonna exhale, fold forward. I do this because I want to start coordinating and mobilizing the spine. Exhale, curl. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Dropping those ribs, pulling belly in, then inhale. And I imagine that pool toy that you just pulled out of the box and you're filling it up with air. It fills up and it starts to stand erect. Now from here I'm going to grab the back of my hamstrings and I'm going to be really strong through my biceps. And I'm going to exhale, sink my low belly in and roll my low back to the mat. And then inhale and restack my spine, dropping my shoulders out of my ears, down and back with the shoulder blades. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, stack up. 3 more. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, stack up. It's super important to mobilize the spine. And we're doing this by segmentally rolling through and getting our pelvis to tilt and open up that low back. And we use that breath. The breath's really key here because it's going to start coordinating the diaphragm, hip flexors, and QL muscles along with the pelvic floor to help stabilize and mobilize the spine. The more in concert those muscles can work, the more effective this warm-up is going to be. Now from here, I'm just going to reach forward. I'm going to exhale, roll. Inhale, stack, exhale. Roll 1 vertebra down at a time. Now, at this point, I inhale down in my low back. Reach, spot my knees and toes. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, stack, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, roll. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Fold. Inhale, stack the spine. Exhale, roll. Try to keep those shoulders out of the ears. Inhaling, reaching through the arms. Exhaling, rolling up. Stack, exhale, fold. Let's just hit 4 more. 1, 2. Really taking it slow, rolling it. Inhaling, exhaling. 1 vertebra at a time. I use this warm-up time to set my focus, to bring my focus on my breath. That breath will be calming. It'll start to clear out the rest of my day, right? A lot of times as we do this, we start thinking about what's the next thing I gotta do. Oh my goodness, I got kids, I got, work issues, whatever it is that you have going on. This is not the time to think about that. This is the time to think about you. Think about what's going on in your body so that you can be prepared so that you know in your workout when maybe it's time to quit. Maybe it's just like your body's not functioning correctly. Maybe you spend more time working out. Now we're going to do some back extensions here. So we're going to inhale, bring that heart forward, drop those shoulders out of the ears, and I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades down back. So this isn't about pushing up, as it is about getting my thoracic spine to really engage, keeping my pubic bone down and my hip bones off. Inhale. I'm really straightening and flexing through my legs, and exhale, forward. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do 2 more. Inhale. Dropping my elbows through the mat. And then exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Now I'm going to press up through the knees. And really, more I think about dropping my elbows down as I extend up to the back and exhale, fold forward. 5. Inhale. And exhale. 4. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Now, a lot of times when we do this, we let our legs go. So when we go down, all of a sudden everything collapses. You want to keep the whole body tight the entire way. 2, 1. Good. We're going to come up onto all fours, and now we're going to loosen up our wrists. So we'll start off. I'm just going to turn one hand down, and I'm just going to roll up through the knuckles, for 5 a side. Pressing those knuckles down and rolling up. Stretching the wrists out. Good, now I'll switch. I'm gonna take it, reach it down, try and straighten through. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm gonna stretch the wrists the other way and I'm gonna go into a cat-cow here. So I'm gonna exhale, hollow out the belly, and inhale. Look up. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale, hollowing out, keeping my weight evenly distributed between my hands and my knees. And then inhale. Last one. Exhale. And inhale. Good. Now we're going to flip the hands around. And I'm going to exhale, reach through. And then inhale, open up, look towards the ceiling. And so now we're starting to kind of rotationally open up that upper body, coordinate the shoulders. So a lot of times I put my hand by my heart and I roll that shoulder blade back and then reach up towards the ceiling, bring it back down and slide it through. And I'm just gonna do 2 more this side, then I'll switch sides. And right here, a lot of times it's hard to straighten. We wanna straighten, put the fingers together and reach towards the ceiling. And last one. Open and reach. Now we'll switch sides. Exhale, reach through, inhale. Open it up. Reach through. Open it up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, I'm gonna place the hands on the ground. I'm gonna shift back to a downward facing dog. And I'm gonna roll through the balls of the feet. So it's key that I'm trying to press, like, not just come up onto the toes, but press the ball joint of the foot down so it bends my toes as I march and pedal. I'm trying to hollow out the belly and keep the ribs down. Now from here, I'm gonna take my right knee to nose and kick back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing forward and step into a deep lunge. Drop that elbow to instep. Inhale and open up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to set my back knee down. I'm going to rock through this front hip. So I'm kind of pressing on that inner thigh and quad of the front hand and opening it up. Just rocking through my hips, just kind of opening and mobilizing those tissues within the hip. Now from here, set up nice and tall. I'm gonna get my knee directly underneath my hip. I'm gonna reach straight up towards the ceiling, drop my elbow to the hip, and try and keep my head in line with the center of my body and knee. So I'm contracting this oblique here, and dropping through as I stretch up. Kind of brace myself by bringing one hand in front of my knee, curl the back leg up, and we're going to stretch that quad. Go ahead and straighten the front leg out, and from here I'm just going to fold forward, hinging through the hip, flexing this quad, and kicking my leg down. For a total of 5, so we have 3 more. 2, and 1, and now I'm just gonna hold it. Kicking down, flexing hard for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Slide this leg back, we'll bring the hands back down, shift into a downward facing dog, march it out again. And kind of wiggle the spine side to side as you do this to just start mobilizing those tissues. Side to side. Settle the heels down, take knee to nose, and kick back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing it forward. And we're going to sink your elbow to instep, and then rotate open for 5, 4, opening those hips up, pressing the hip forward and down, and I'm trying to keep the ball of the big knuckle ball joint, the toe down, as I kind of mobilize those hips. And even here, I'm kind of pressing, giving this like outward force. And I'll start to open up those hip flexors a little bit, or the inner thighs a little bit. And you'll feel it mobilize that hip joint. Now, here we're gonna come up, stand up nice and tall. I'm really gonna stretch up. At the same time, trying to keep the ribs down, shoulders out of the ears. I'm gonna drop this elbow towards the hip as we reach up. This stretch is really key. It's key for a number of reasons, especially in kettlebell lifting. You need to be able to get your elbows to your hips. And on this one, because it's gonna help open up your obliques so you have this good lateral side-to-side movement, and that you actually have the flexibility to rest the elbow to the hip. Now, from here, we're just gonna curl the back leg up and stretch that quad. So I'm trying to squeeze the glute of the kneeling leg and press my hip forward. Now go ahead, we're gonna straighten the front leg out. Flexing into the ground, we're gonna do 5, fold forward, come up. The whole time pressing this front heel down, 4, 3, 2, good. Now we're just going to sit here and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now come up. Last 2. We're going to take and go into a kneeling frog stretch. So I'm going to open the hips out wide. And I'm going to bring the hands out in front of us. Maybe not cut myself on glass. And we're gonna rock back and forth, squeezing our knees into the pad, opening the hips for 10. One, good. Now, come up onto the mat to a standing position. I'm gonna do 3 of these. I'm gonna hinge from the hips, pushing the hips back, but trying to keep the spine long. Then from here, I'm going to fold forward, allow my spine to roll, and bring my palms down to the ground. I'm going to open up the chest, rolling back. Tail the arms over the head, and stand up. 1, fold back, long spine, roll through. Inhale, down, get the arms over the head, and up. Last time, screwing my feet into the ground, folding forward, stretching through the spine. Really opening up. If you get to this point, you feel a good stretch here. You can kind of push to one side to open up that QL and low back. And then we inhale down, reach the arms overhead, squeezing the glutes, trying to get everything nice and tall. So a lot of times people ask me about getting into overhead positions. Listen, this is how you practice it, is by getting into them, right? We mobilize the spine because sometimes it's that thoracic spine that's tight, sometimes it's our hips, sometimes it's ankle mobility. But actually just practicing it unloaded can make the biggest difference. So I put this into our practice every time before we start a workout. There's our warm-up.